So what is the issue? He's expressing discontent with the arcane bundle being $100, right? There's a few things. There's a few things here, and I don't want to make this seem like I'm like choosing a side here, right? Because I think there's validity on both ends. Like, I think there are people that will be fine with this. There's people that will be upset about this. I think like both are fine. It's just a matter of perspective. So my main thing about this particular bundle is, first of all, it's arcane. This bundle is gonna make them a shit ton of money, bro. It's like actually so crazy. They're gonna make so much fucking money off of this fucking bundle. They knew exactly what they were doing. Riot is not dumb. They're not stupid. They're actually very smart, and that's what makes this so tough, right? It makes it so tough as a consumer because the way that they go about like marketing strategy and monetization, I think a lot of people feel like this is predatory, right? Like they're taking advantage of the system, and there is some of that. Just straight up. There is some like shady monetization practices going on here. When I opened the shop and I went over a few things, I told people like, I feel like some of this stuff that they do shouldn't be legal. Now it is legal, and so they're not breaking any rules by doing so. I want to make that clear. But this more speaks on, I feel like this is kind of an issue with capitalism in general, not even just like when we talk about 2xKO, right? But so what is the issue with this, right? The issue is $100 is a lot, right? It's a lot to spend on a game. Like even if you were just talking about buying a game, right? We're talking about skins for a game. Yes, you get 3 of them. Yes, you do. You get some extra stuff as well, but there's some nuance whenever we talk about this. Main thing that I think feels bad about this in particular is that it's the only way to get these skins, I believe. I don't think that you can get these skins in any other way aside from buying this bundle. Let me go ahead and open the shop for myself real quick to see if there's any other way that you can get these skins, but I don't think that there's any other way to get these skins. So if you want the skins, you have to pay $100. I don't think that there's a way around this. Starter edition, yeah, because the regular bundle, the standard and deluxe bundle don't even come with the skins. It looks like they come with champion tokens and they come with the finisher, but the skins themselves only if you buy the $100 bundle, right? Can you really blame them? Yes, we can. So like, that's the thing. This conversation is one that has a lot of nuance, right? And so like, yes, I can blame them because it is their practice, right? It is their practice. And while they're within their legal rights, I do believe it is taking advantage of the consumer. That being said, the principle of a free-to-play game that is monetizing skins, it's fine. Like I don't have an issue with freemium model at all. On one side, you have to realize that this is a luxury, right? And I think fighting game players are going to have to learn that. They're not used to this in this way, but truthfully, when you play a Riot game, skins are luxury. You don't have to have them, right? You don't have to have the skins. They don't impact your gameplay in any way, anything like that, right? You can play this game for completely free, never spend a dime, right? You could just do that. There was even J2 that put out a post that was like calculating how long it would take you to unlock all the champions by just doing in-game. And there will be plenty of people that don't spend a single cent on the game. There will be people that make that choice, right? And you're well within your rights to make that choice. But that's not most consumers, actually, I feel like. I feel like most consumers will consider purchasing a skin for the character that they really like, or a skin that they think really looks cool, if it appeals to them personally, right? Or they will at least consider it, depending on if the price is right or not. So while I think that it is totally fine for them to monetize, the thing that sticks out to me the most is that it's the only way to buy it, right? I think even if it was three separate bundles, they all came with the same thing, but it was just like each individual skin, like you could buy each individual one for $33 if you wanted to, I would even be okay with that, because then at least people have the choice of picking and choosing. I want this skin, I don't want that one, because only a certain percentage of the player base is actually going to be interested in multiple characters from this bundle, right? Like you only can play 2 characters at once. And so like not everyone is going to play Echo, Jinx, or Vi, right? There's some other characters. Warwick just came out. Teemo just came out. There's just other characters on the roster. And so I think to them, it might feel like, hey, I'm paying for something I do not want, right? And I have to if I want to get the thing that I want, right? That's that's valid, right? And that complaint is valid, I think. And I think it's important for us to recognize that. Like, this is not like senseless bitching. Yes, it is normal for Riot. Like, you'll see that argument a lot as well. Like, oh, you just aren't used to Riot and this and that. Just because it is the way that they have done things does not mean that everyone must accept that this is okay, right? You have to make the decision for yourself whether it's worth it or not. But just because it is the way that they've operated doesn't mean that it isn't taking advantage of the consumers, right? On the other side, right? On the other side of things, I think the thing that feels worse about it to me is the 5,000 KO tokens. So another thing that you'll see is there are those that will justify like, oh, it's okay for you to spend $100, right? Because they're giving you 5,000 KO tokens and also the 8 character tokens on top, right? But mostly I want to focus on the KO tokens. Now, the reason I have an issue with this in particular is because this is $50 worth of KO tokens, right? $50. We calculated it earlier. 100 KO tokens is equivalent to $1. If you buy bundles in the shop, you can get a little bit more, right? You can get a little bit of a bonus, but generally 100 tokens equals $1. And so on one hand, you have those that are looking at this and like, oh, well, it's fine because, you know, you get 3 skins, you get the character tokens, and you get $50 worth of value of knockout tokens. But this is actually one of the most predatory parts of this bundle and the way that they do monetization, because I don't think anyone would complain if the bundle did not have tokens. Imagine the tokens were not a part of this. The 5,000 tokens were not a part of it, and the bundle was $50. Do we get posts like this? No, we don't. It's not the same thing, unfortunately, because when you spend money, when you spend real world money, $100 of real world money on, and you can't buy this with tokens either, by the way, you have to spend real world money, right? You spend real world money, and yes, you get knockout tokens, but Riot has already gotten $100. They're not getting $50. They're getting $100 because you cannot take your knockout tokens and exchange them for real money. So once they have your money, they have it. They have $100. It doesn't matter if that 5,000 tokens sits in your inventory until the heat death of the universe. They got your money. They got $100, and that's $100 coming out of your pocket that you cannot take and spend on other things. And so, again, they're brilliant for doing this from a business perspective, right? They're going to make a lot of money on this. They're going to make a lot of money on this while only really slighting a small percentage of people. Only a few people are going to feel actually slighted by this and say, hey, I'm not going to buy anything as a result of it, right? But I think that is the part that feels super, super bad. It's like, yes, you're giving me equivalent value, but it's not really, because real money will always be more valuable than a digital currency that can only be used on this game. This would be more reasonable even if there was a general Riot currency. Like, if there was a general Riot currency that you could take and use on any Riot game, imagine that, right? Imagine if this was 5,000 Riot tokens and you could spend it on League, you could spend it on Valorant, you could spend it on 2xKO as you so please. I think even that would be more reasonable. It would still be predatory. It would still be predatory, but I would bet that would feel much less bad to a lot of the consumers that are even considering buying this, right? Or Runeterra as well. I'm sorry, Runeterra, I just haven't heard much about since, so I wasn't sure how that game was doing. And so, yeah, we were representing a cultural clash, right? And unfortunately, you know, some are going to use this to say, see, I told you so. Riot is the devil and 2xKO really sucks, and I wish Riot was not involved in this and that. Is like, just because they choose to monetize in this way does not take away from the good that they could potentially bring to the community, right? And the devs that work on this, like the fighting game players that we know, Vaneeth and Yohozi and Marlin Pie and all of those people that are from our community that work on the game, they had no hand in this decision. This is completely different. Like, I want you to understand that companies have completely different departments for this, right? The people that decide what things cost and how to monetize are a completely different department from the devs themselves, right? Same thing with Capcom. Like, when we talked about Capcom and like charging to watch Capcom Cup, right? The devs have literally come out on Twitter and said, we didn't even know that they were going to do this, right? It's compartmentalized in a completely different way. It has nothing to do with them. So I don't think it is fair to shit on the hard work that those devs have done on this game. And it has been hard work. This game is like of a quality that we don't get in most fighting games, right? Straight up. And it's free to play on top of that. And so those people that put in the hours and whatnot, I don't think it's fair to direct your vitriol towards them. However, directing your vitriol towards Riot as a whole, fair. Because it is a little fucked up. It's fucked up. It's a little fucked up that you can't buy them individually, that you're forced to buy something that you potentially don't want, right? The 5,000 tokens thing it's fucked up. It is definitely taking advantage of consumer psychology. I understand. However, please, all I'm saying is, like, I'm not taking a side, right? On this, if you want to speak out against this, direct it at the right people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because I promise you, the cannons and those people that are on the dev team, they don't have a choice in this. They don't. That's above their pay grade. Trust me when I say that.